Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry for my voice sounding a little bit off. I'm recording. This is the God of War Ragnarok review. I haven't actually finished the game. I'm in the process of doing that. I'm very, very close to the end. But I had some time on my hands that I was able to get this audio recorded, so I figured I might as well do it now. I've got most of my opinion on the game, settled. And maybe I'll do a little addition to this and edit it in at the very end, since I'm not going to put this review together until afterward anyway. Excuse me. But, yeah, my voice sounds like this because I just recorded a feature for a song. Big, very heavy song, lots of screaming and singing and all that stuff. So I did like a lot of vocals, and so my voice is needing a little rest, but I figured let's torture it a little bit more, shall we? Yeah, this game is pretty good. I enjoyed most of it. I think that I enjoyed the gameplay a little less than the original. I think that I loved the reveal of the Blades of Chaos in the first game, so having it need to be something you have to wait to get, don't have to wait to get this time. As fun and as much as it made the combat like, oh great, I get it right from the beginning. Because I always hate when a sequel to a popular game comes out and then you get reset to the beginning. Even this series did that cliche with God of War 2, where you started off with everything you had from the first one and then they just stripped you of it. So I was kind of expecting that to happen, so I'm really glad it didn't. It really did just feel like I was picking up from the same end of this first game and continuing. They reference a lot of the side missions from the first game, like, as being canon events, which, yeah, I imagine they would, but it is kind of a little odd. I know that like other games do this, but I feel like they don't get directly mentioned in the main story very often. Maybe I'm wrong. Point out some examples if you will. Like, go for it, I guess. I thought the story of this one wasn't as good as the first one so far. I do like seeing Thor and Odin, and I actually think that they're better than the Marvel versions. I'm more invested in these guys. Not necessarily better, more just more accurate to the actual Norse mythology. And so I had a lot of fun with that, seeing what these characters are like outside of the like super clean, cleanly, Marvel versions of these characters that I'm more familiar with. Maybe I should just read up on mythology though. I enjoyed the dynamic between Kratos and Atreus like always, but I think that having them separated for most of the game actually hindered the story quite a bit, as I enjoyed their banter and dialogue more than anything in the game. And I think this game lost a lot of the charm from the first one by being about like a world-ending threat, that being Ragnarok, rather than it being about a more smaller stakes story. All they're trying to do in the first game is get Faye's ashes to the highest peak, and that's it. And then things kind of just happen on their journey, and that's it. But the whole game it's everything's happening in the background. They mention Odin, they mention Thor, whatever, but it's all background characters. You meet a couple of them, but not many. This game, it's very much diving deep into this Norse mythology, showing you every character, showing you every realm, and really expanding on what was in the first, which I like, don't get me wrong. It's a very fun game, and I'm really enjoying myself, but I think a lot of it, of the issues that I have with the game, come from the fact that me personally, I couldn't get as invested in this story as I could in the others, or even the other games. I found myself trying really hard to focus and struggling, and like even now, today's July 4th that I'm recording this. You'll be seeing this much later than that, I'm sure. I always stockpile like several videos and work on them all at the same time, and then they come out whenever they come out. But anyway, by the time that you guys are seeing this, it's probably almost August. I wouldn't be surprised, or probably mid-July. But my PlayStation Plus literally runs out tomorrow, and I hadn't even finished this game because I was just kind of struggling to get myself to get moving into it. I think that the first game had a good flow going where I didn't want to put down the first game. I found myself playing it late into the night. This game, I found myself kind of going, oh, I guess I should finish it, since I finished the first one. And I don't know, maybe that says more about me, but it's not that this game's bad. Like, let me make that very clear. This is a very, very good game. I enjoy this game. I enjoy the combat. I enjoy I don't enjoy some of the difficulty spikes. There are definitely parts that frustrate. I think there were less combat situations in this game that pissed me off than there were in the first. However, this game had much more frustrating puzzles than the first game, and I really don't like these new pink runic arrows. I feel like a lot of the puzzles that involve them are very luck-based, and like, because you have to get, same with the spear that you get, everything is like, you can't just throw the spear into the hole in the wall. You have to be at the right angle, right spot, and it's a little janky at times. Same with the pink runic arrows, where you can't just shoot a pink runic arrow into next to where you need to be, hit it, and then it transfers the fire over. No, you have to be on the precise pixel that they want you to be on. And I found it very frustrating. There were many times where I was like, where am I going and what am I doing? And I tried the runic arrow and it didn't work. And I looked at an IGN walkthrough and it didn't work. And I looked at a YouTube video and it didn't work. And then I came back the next day and it worked. So it can be very frustrating at times. I think playing as Atreus was definitely the right call to continue this game and let you be able to play as him. I think that throughout the first game, I was definitely asking myself, like, oh, are they going to make him a playable character? Is he going to have his own segments? And then he just didn't, and I was a little shocked by that. So this game having that makes sense. I also think this game giving you multiple companions throughout, like having, you have Atreus, you have Freya, you have Brock, you have Sindri, and a couple others, I think, spread throughout. Thor at one point is your companion. That was definitely my favorite mission, was playing as Atreus and having Thor as my companion. Because I didn't really have to do anything. Thor would just knock everybody out. I think it's a very good, very fun. This game took me a lot longer, though, as I said. The first game took me about 17 episodes to get through. This game, I think we're on episode 25, and I'm still not even done the main story. I don't know if that's a testament to how much more this game has in it, or just a testament to the fact that I'm not really paying attention and don't really care. I find myself questioning, like, throughout the game, is Odin right? Like, I maybe I'm the asshole here, but I'm playing through the story, watching through the cutscenes, and asking myself repeatedly, like, I don't see anything wrong with some of what these characters did. And, I just don't, I don't really understand some of the, and I think Atreus, in the first game he had a bit of an attitude, and that was kind of part of his character. And I think this game he continues to do that, and it's still part of his character, but I think he goes a little overboard at times in this game. When he went overboard in the previous game, it made sense for the plot. This one, they kind of force it in, it feels. I don't know. I don't like this game as much as I think this is not. I wouldn't call this my least favorite in the God of War series. I've played Ascension, the original trilogy, and then these two new ones. So, I don't know. I think that it's the lesser of the two new ones, in my opinion. If I'm going to suggest one of them to somebody for their first experience playing, it's going to be the first one, not this one. But like I said, my review of the first game, I was going on and on about the story, praising the story, praising the visuals, praising the music. This game didn't have that for me. Yeah, the visuals are a little upgraded. Maybe it would have looked better on PS5. I am playing this on PS4 after all. But I just found this to be a lot more of the same shit. And I just didn't really care. And like I said, the story wasn't intimate enough and I didn't find myself as invested. It felt like a very similar story to just many other fantasy games and fantasy movies. And that's not what I want. I want something interesting, So for me, the first game easily beats this one out. I think the game before this, God of War 2018, is my favorite God of War game of all time. Right now, I would then put God of War 3 under that, and then maybe maybe this one or God of War 2, one of the two, I have to say are my second or my third favorite. We'll see how this new one comes out, focusing on Faye, ends up being. I have mixed feelings about it. I would have preferred another game focused on Kratos, or if they were going to do a spin-off, focusing it on Atreus. But instead, they are doing Faye in the afterlife. And I'm always excited to see more Deborah Ann Woll. I really love her as an actress. But I think the face model doesn't look great. But it could be, it's probably still in beta mode, so it's probably going to get better. I don't really understand the Jack Quaid cube. That's a little bit of a weird choice. And some of the Egyptian gods and such being there. I'm curious to see how they use this game to expand on the God of War lore. For sure. I'm interested in seeing them do another game with Kratos or using Faye's game to bring back some of the Greek gods in the afterlife and have them, because they made references to it in the first game. They had Zeus briefly show up. They had Athena briefly show up. But you didn't fight them or really interact with them too much. And I think I would have really preferred it if they did that, where it was a different thing, entirely. If they had them actually show up, like maybe if we went through Helheim in this game and we had to fight Zeus again or something. But instead, and maybe the Valhalla DLC clears this up, because I haven't actually played that yet. Like I said, I haven't even finished the main story. And that's why I'm recording this when I am, because my PS Plus runs out tomorrow. It's 2 p.m., so I don't know exactly if I'll be able to finish it today. But if I do, great. I'll add a little appendix to this thing and be like, hey, this is what's up and this is my opinion. If I don't finish it, my PS Plus runs out, then this is my review, right? From as far as I could get into the game. So yeah. And the reason that I won't just pay for more PS Plus, because I could hear you typing in the comments, why don't you just pay for more PS Plus? Is I'm trying to save up for a PS5, because there's a bunch of PS5 games that I want to play for the channel that I don't get to unless I buy it, right? So I'm waiting to do that. And I'm about halfway there, I think. It's like $750 plus tax here, so it comes up to like $850. So I was just gonna try to get $1,000 to kind of round that out, and then I have enough money for a couple games right away. And I think I've got 400 saved, 400 or 350, something like that. So I'm about a quarter way there, which is good. Right? If I can do that, then by like October, I'll have it perfectly kind of set up. Or by October, which is perfect. I'll buy Pac-Man World Repack 2 as my first game. We'll stream that for my birthday stream. I'm not going to do any Halloween content this year, unfortunately. I kind of covered a bunch of horror movies here in April when I came back from my hiatus. So I feel like I don't want to oversaturate this channel with horror content. Maybe we'll play some Dead by Daylight or something throughout the month. That wouldn't be such a bad idea. Because I took that really large hiatus from September until April, right? I made a brief little comeback in January, but only for a couple videos. Those are videos I already had that I was just finishing editing, basically. So because of that, I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to do, right? I missed my birthday stream, my 20th birthday stream. I missed my channel's 10-year anniversary. I missed Valentine's Day. I missed St. Patrick's Day. Like, I missed a lot of things that I would normally do some kind of thing celebrating. So I just did a bunch of horror movie reviews for Halloween of 2025. Played Pac-Man World Repack for my birthday stream as a late birthday stream. Did a couple reaction videos for my 10-year anniversary. I have another 10-year anniversary video coming up that's more structured, but I need to get the editing done for it, so you probably won't see it for another month or two. And what else? Yeah, like I did a whole bunch of stuff like that, right? So coming up past that, right? Like I think I even did My Bloody Valentine for Valentine. The only thing I think I skipped this year was St. Patrick's Day so far, and even Canada Day. I didn't post anything, but I did record some stuff on Canada Day. It is funny. Every year I try to go to the fireworks and film, because I did that video in 2019 of the fireworks show, and I've always wanted to do a follow-up. I wanted to make that a yearly thing, and I haven't. Every year, this like a couple days ago, I was gonna do it. It was perfect, and then a storm hit, and I had to go home before the fireworks. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I know this is a very different style of game review than what I usually do. This is more of just a rant that I'm going on. So I really appreciate you taking your time to watch this, and I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.